interruption, everyone, at number 1 St. Michael's. But you need to be careful about the company you are keeping. AXA is a French multinational insurance corporation headquartered in Paris, France. It is one of the largest financial services groups in the world, with a significant global presence, including extensive operations in the UK. AXA owns Swift Cover and Mojo Insurance. I bet a few of you didn't know that. It provides cover for homes, cars, pets and lives, supposedly protecting homes, pets, cars and lives, supposedly ensuring you and your loved ones will be financially safe. AXA is not a company protecting lives. AXA is a company facilitating death on a planetary scale. Damage caused by flooding and storms has seen the biggest rise in insurance claims in the past 10 years. Global insured losses from natural catastrophes exceeded over $130 billion in 2023, well above the 10-year average. Weather-related disasters now make up over 90% of total insured catastrophe losses, compared to just 70% in the 1980s. And insurance premiums continue to rise. AXA insures the very carbon bomb projects that scientists say will tip us past safe climate limits. Projects that poison rivers, displace families, destroy ecosystems, and lock in emissions for decades to come. AXA profits from insuring fossil fuel giants like Shell, enabling destruction from Colombia to Texas to Argentina. They do this knowing full well it accelerates climate breakdown and threatens billions of lives. AXA also profits from war. It has invested in and insured arms companies and banks directly complicit in Israel's war crimes in Gaza, financing weapons and infrastructure that have fueled the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Under pressure from years of campaigning, it has now dropped some of these holdings. It's quietly sold off some of its remaining investments in arms companies in the last few months. But the damage is done. The blood money is in their accounts. They have chosen profit over Palestinian lives. We're not talking about a single deal here and there. This is a pattern. AXA sells protection to ordinary people while secretly undermining the systems that make us all less safe. AXA, you are fueling floods, fires, famine, displacement and mass killing. AXA, you are complicit in both climate collapse and genocide. AXA, the scale of the harm that you are doing is beyond imagination. By continuing to back fossil fuel expansion and war industries, you are actively facilitating conditions that scientists warn will cost billions of lives this century. AXA, history will not forget this. Divest now from your horrendous fossil fuel projects. Your brand is already toxic and dripping in blood. History will not forget this. It will only get worse. You sell insurance, AXA, but what you really insure is death. We are here to make sure the world knows it.
Insures drugs. Did you know that? What do we know about Drax? Drax is the second biggest producer of wood pellets from whole trees, which it obtains by felling biodiverse virgin forests in Canada, the southern USA, Latvia, Estonia. It operates the world's biggest wood-burning plant at its power station in Yorkshire, and it is the biggest emitter of carbon dioxide in the UK. A report in 2024 found that Drax was responsible for 4 times more carbon emissions than the country's last remaining coal-fired plant. In 2021, the European Academy's Science Advisory Council said that burning wood in power stations was not effective in mitigating climate change, and it may even increase the risk of dangerous climate change. Drax says that by 2030 it will be using carbon capture and storage, CCS, technology to remove up to 95% of the CO2 released by burning trees. But this technology doesn't yet exist at the scale required, and it's totally unproven. The irony is that nature already has a means of removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and storing it in the soil. It's called trees. Forests, as well as peatlands, meadows, mangroves, or other natural habitats, are our best allies in capturing carbon dioxide. And it is ridiculous to pretend that burning them will help combat climate change. Drax Power Station, that AXA provides insurance for, is guilty of environmental racism. The wood pellet mills that supply the power station are based in poor, mostly black communities of the southern US, and are causing severe health problems for the local communities. A 2023 study found that wood pellet mills emit 2.8 times more pollution than coal and oil-burning power plants. The mills emit 55 different toxic pollutants: nitrogen oxide, volatile organic compounds, amongst others. And these air pollutants can cause coughing, trouble breathing, skin rashes, severe allergic reactions, and in the long term they can cause chronic shortness of breath, nausea and headaches, cardiovascular disease, lung disease, heart attack, stroke. We have permission to bring to your attention, AXA, some testimonies from residents of Gloucester in the US, one of the communities affected by one of Drax's wood pellet mills. They would like you, AXA, to know about the harm you are allowing Drax to do, the harm they are causing to their health.
From Dr. Crystal Martin of the Greater Greener Gloucester Project and Brown University Assistant Epidemiology Professor. She returned to her hometown after her 75-year-old mother was diagnosed with lung and heart problems. She says, "You don't know you're really dealing with air pollution until most people have breathed it and inhaled it for so long that they end up sick. When you subsidise Drax, you're condoning the dirty job they're doing. You cannot support environmental justice and support these industries at the same time. You are directly contributing to the health issues we see in the community when you support companies like Drax."
Mr. Jimmy Brown says, "I don't think Drax should be allowed to have more subsidies and get the opportunity to pollute and make the citizens of Gloucester sick and have to deal with all of these health problems. Put those subsidies into the community and do right by us."
Murtis Woodward said, "It was better before that mill came. Now we can't come outside, the air is so bad. I've got 2 inhalers, and the doctor tried to give me another one. I have asthma, COPD and angina." Miss Betty Ravencraft said, "I see my county dwindling away. It is ludicrous to be destroying our assets and shipping them overseas to be burned for fuel. I've never been an activist in my whole life, but now I am being forced to stand up for my town because of the amount of citizens popping up with heart disease and cancer. I am scared to live here. I cannot understand how the UK is allowing Drax to be here, to destroy our way of life, the air that we breathe and our health, while the citizens in their country are fine."
Sheila May Dobbins feels her life and health were better before 2016 when Drax opened a facility able to compress 450,000 tonnes of wood chips annually in the majority black town of Gloucester, Mississippi. Since a 2017 diagnosis of heart and lung disease, Dobbins has frequently lived at the end of a breathing tube connected to an oxygen canister.
She knew 6 other people who were reliant on oxygen tanks, living on her street. 5 of them are now dead. She says, something is going on, and it's all around the plant. Nobody asked us could they bring that plant here. And the smell of it, I didn't know it. In my life, I smell nothing like it, so I couldn't really describe it. A foul, very foul odour. We can smell it most of the night. It's like they didn't want nobody to see them do it. I died 3 times, but God was not ready for me. I am a walking testimony.
Implicated and insuring DRACS, but it also insures the Cameron liquid natural gas project, a major US export terminal in Louisiana. This fuels the global trade in fracked gas, a process banned in the UK due to its extreme methane emissions. Despite being marketed as a transition fuel, LNG is not. Methane is a short-lived but 80 times more potent gas than CO2. There was an explosion in Cameroon. Local residents had long warned about this, but it happened and it was reopened, although safety concerns continue. AXA, our demand is simple. You must end all underwriting and investment in fossil fuel expansion. Arms companies and institutions complicit in genocide. AXA, you have the power to stop this destruction now and remain profitable. Yet so far, you choose to bankroll collapse. Until you change, we will act. We will blockade your offices when you're not expecting us, disrupt your operations, and call on millions of your customers to boycott you and your sub-brands, Mojo and Swift Insurance. AXA, we won't forget you. We might have got wet today, but it's nothing compared to the harm you are causing in this world.